So obviously I can push the step ladder, but to push it to what? Is there something on top? I'm gonna push it over there. Jeez, what the fuck? It just like teleported over there. Those physics. Well, that's one solution. I thought there was something like a box on top of this, and not to smash it open, quite literally. Well, time to crawling out. Made it! Like a graceful penguin. There's bones.
The cellar's filled with human remains. These people must have died a long time ago. There must have been a fire down here. The cellar's filled with human remains. These people must have died a long time ago.
That's unfortunate. Well, we can get back up. The police might not take too kindly to us now. Ooh, it's the red room we saw earlier. Well, let's see what the photos are of. Is it more pictures of me? No.
Old photos of Innsmouth. Most of them have faded beyond recognition. Various chemicals and apparatus for developing photographs.
You don't say.
Various chemicals and apparatus for developing photographs.
Okay. Anything else of interest?
Old photos of Innsmouth. Most of them have faded beyond recognition.
Of course. Hopefully we can get a way out of here. I prefer not to die down in the cellar. Oh, I know where this leads to. I know where this is.
It's not important.
Cutscene before I close the door. Watch out for ammo pickups. Ammo will always carry across to the next chapter, but the quantity you can carry for each weapon is capped. The interface shows the total rounds you are carrying, including those in the gun. So, ammo.
The old printing press appears to have been sabotaged. I don't suppose the fire helped it much either. The old printing press appears to have been sabotaged. General notices. They're all dated 1846. Nothing of any real interest. Nope, nothing of interest. General notices. They're all dated 1846.
Some doors you encounter will be bolted on one side. Action the bolt to unlock the unlock or lock the door. Door bolts can come in useful when escaping from enemies. So remember, door bolts can lock doors. But I'm looking around a bit more.
It won't budge.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm guessing this one won't budge either. No, actually it will open. Ooh. Why am I staring at this for so long? Am I stuck in a cutscene? I might be stuck in a cutscene. Game. Game. Game! I know there's a dead body. I know we're staring it down, though. Oh! Hi, sir.
You're not allowed down here. Get out!
Get out, you, sir! Hey. These
The
skeletons.
cellar's filled with human remains.
Yes, and a fire. Here's the red station.
There are some issues of the Innsmouth, various chemicals and apparatus for developing
I didn't see
photographs.
this before. Nope, I did not pick that up before. What is that about? Innsmouth Courier, June 19th, 1846. I actually missed this before. Innsmouth, or Partition Arrested. Tales of Heathen Ceremonies by John Lawrence, editor. Obed Marsh, the head of Innsmouth wealthy and influential Marsh family, now sits in the city jail accused of devil worship and other unspeakable practices. The whole community is left in a state of shock by the horrifying revelations that accompanied the arrest. Readers will no doubt be aware of the deep revelations expressed by the Courier's editorship and other decent citizens concerning the historic Order of Dagon, which was founded by the Captain Marsh after his return from the South Seas and is said to be based upon a primitive religion he encountered among the uneducated natives of certain distant Pacific islands. The captain's arrest seems to lend strength to those suspicions, and a full investigation is expected to unearth more. power. Oh, tell me about ammo pickups. Inform me about my ammo pickups, sir. Watch out for ammo pickups.
The old printing press appears to have been sabotaged.
Now I'm going to see if I can trigger this first and not break the game.
Holy shit!
You don't say. It's triggered fine this time.
Nope, nothing of interest.
Right after that scene we just saw.
It's not important.
Most emotion he's tried showing. Holy shit, even those kind of fake sound. I mean, no, whatever. Hairbrush. Hey, lady. How's it hanging? She's holding something?
Ah, from the stench in here, this noose broad must have kicked it a few months back. The poor woman must have taken her own life. I wonder what could have driven her to such a desperate act. Ah, from the stench in here, this noose broad must have kicked it a few months back. It won't open.
Yep. Here's our thing about learning about locks here. Hello, lock. Some doors.
The door's bolted shut.
And here we are back here. Well, time to return back. I know where this is. I can save my game and make it back.
Jack.
Oh, fuck.
Do I know you?
Lucas Mackey. Sorry to startle you. Innsmouth doesn't get a lot of visitors. New names spread fast. What are you doing in town, Jack? Hear about the missing Burnham boy?
Not bad. I'm a private detective. My client's a friend of the Burnhams.
Seen the latest press from Arkham? Your boy's been quite busy.
What about you, Mackie? You're obviously not a local. What's your business in town?
True enough, Jack. Nothing too exciting, I'm sorry to say. I'm a government factory inspector. They posted me in this rotten hole to check over the old Marsh refinery. Speaking of which, I've got an appointment with the manager, Jacob Marsh.
Okay, maybe I'll catch you later. That's the first friendly face I've seen in this damn town. But I've been in this business long enough to know he's hiding something.
Yep.
It won't open.
But we've met our first kind of side character. That, you know, is nice, kind of. Even if maybe we'll come to cross threads eventually. But hey. Remember, don't get caught. What if I get caught and the guy fucking steals my alcohol and I have to go through that all over again? You know what? I think it's okay.
You better keep your trap shut.
I won't tell him anything.
Talk to them immediately.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
I can't be seen talking to you.
Where is everybody? It's very quiet.
Stop pestering me, stranger.
I'm looking for Brian
Can't
Brown.
help you.
No one's kind around these parts. Well, that's okay. Time to give the drunk his goddamn alcohol. Took a little bit longer than I would have hoped. Let's move on over. Give a drunk a drink. Let him drink his drunk and drunk his drink and drinkity drunkers. Hello, local druggie. That be you. Got your alcohol.
Where can I find this Thomas Waite?
Dark Street. Back in old lady Horn's house. In my home. Psst, mister. You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice and old Zadok will fill your ears.
Where can I find this Thomas Waite?
Dark Street. Back in old lady Horn's house. In my home. Psst, mister. You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice and old Zadok will fill your ears.
Oh, you're in luck.
Why, you're uncommonly kind, young feller. Here be a little something in gratitude that may help you in your search. Now you be calling me crazy. Like them that's there rumoring and anchoring in Ipswich. But old Zadok's seen all manner of wicked things since before you was born. Old Captain Obed where it all began, telling desperate folks they'd order get better gods. Them's that would answer their prayers.
Didn't the Christian folk of Innsmouth object to such blasphemy?
Aye, they did. It were around 46 that many folks in town were done with Obed and his ways. And all that wild preaching and too many missing, you see. A party of good folk followed Captain Obed's crowd out to the reef. Shots were fired. Next day, Obed and 30 of his followers were in jail. And for weeks all were quiet, till that artful night of 46. Them's out outside reckoned out it being a riot. But I'd seen them, swarms of them.
Look, old man, I don't have time to listen to these fishing tales.
Oh, psst, was a massacre. The jail thrown open. Mounds of the dead and the dying. Shooting and screaming and shouting all across the town square. Come morning, the mess was cleaned up. Old Obed and his family takes charge, they did. Folks were told to keep shy as strangers if we were knowing what was good for us.
Zadok, who did all this? Who did all...
Said the old captain was now deeper in debt to his heathen gods. They were hankering for more than just sacrificing. Obed told folks they had to take the oaths of Dagon.
What the hell are these oaths?
You just asked old Wes about oaths of Dagon. Aye, he take the third oath. Just head over to his hole in the Dark Street. Then you'll see, for definite.
He's given me a key to the town poorhouse. It could come in handy. Where did Captain Obed Marsh learn of these heathen matters?
In war and foreign parts, the old fool I lent to ways of making gains, doing heathen things. He found a tribe of Kanakis in the South Seas led by a savage. Chief went by the name of Wallachia. And his tribe never went without food, for they had all the fish they could catch. Old Obed learned from his Wallachia that these things on this earth as most folks never heard about. Seems these Kanakis was worshipping undersea gods, with heaps of human sacrifices and other heathen things. But they was getting all kinds of favors in return. Plenty of fishing and even gold now and then.
Human sacrifices. Maybe you've had just a bit too much.
I don't blame you for not believing it, young fella. But just answer me this. Why did Captain Obed roll out to the reef of Satan and chant a lot of rites and incantations in the dead of night? So loud you could hear them all over the parts. He caught something in the water that eve, out the other side of Devil's Reef. Some kind of thingamajig crafted out of lead. It was given to him by Wallachia.
So, what happened?
Well, not long after the smoke started coming out of the chimneys at the old gold refinery, The Marsh family and those that had joined with Obed in his ways started prospering in the esoteric order of Dagon. Came into being with his Ethan that shit they do.
What kinds of ceremonies?
Yeah. Get out of here, lad. Don't wait for nothing. They'll know now.
I think he's had his fill for the night. Zadok! Zadok!
Curse you, lad, for staring at me with them eyes. The old Captain Manel, and he's staying there. He can get me. He can't. No, he can't get me. I had nothing done. I ain't done nothing or told nobody nothing.
Are you okay, old-timer?
Huh? Yeah, leave me be.
It's no use. He's totally smoked, and it'll take him all night to sleep that off. I don't suppose he'll be awake anytime soon. He reeks of rotting fish and liquor. It's no use. He's totally smoked, and it'll take him all night to sleep that off.
And the girl's coming down here.
Mr. Walters, I must speak with you.
It's Jack. And just hold on there a minute, sweetheart. Are you gonna even tell me your name?
My name's Rebecca Lawrence, and unless you want to join Innsmouth's long list of missing, I'd urge you to follow me.
Missing, huh? Like Burnham?
Of that, I'm not sure. You'd be better off asking the Billingham's daughter, Ruth. She was dating Brian.
What? Who's Ruth?
Quickly, we don't have much time. You've got to follow me. Jack, Innsmouth is a strange place. There are things that have no business being here. Foul, reeking things.
Strange. Trust me, I'm good with strange.
That remains to be seen, but I can help you. My father discovered this strange sign while studying an old manuscript. It seems to ward off the more unusual elements in Innsmouth. Whenever you find one, you can use it to find a moment of sanctuary. Now, I must leave before we're seen together.
I've seen that eye-like symbol somewhere before, but never surrounded by a star.
So I can save my game at special places like this. Just such an occasion. I'm even looking at Hello Star. Well, I got a key. In fact, I got a few things I need to catch up on. The key to the town's poorhouse is one of them. But I got other things. Diary of Jack Walters. Nothing interesting. Mythos. So I got General Evidence. Arkham Advertiser. February 7th, 1922. Innsmouth robbery. Missing manager accused. In yesterday's edition, we reported on a burglary at the recently opened First National grocery store in Innsmouth. The case took a new turn today as authorities in the town named Brian Burnham, the store's manager, as a suspect in the case. Burnham has not been seen since the robbery and is thought to have left the area. It is a very straightforward case, said Chief Constable Andrew Martin in response to inquiries by the advertiser, I guess really it's the advertiser. This young man simply robbed his employer and fled. I imagine he's out of the country now, if not the state. The chief's constable dismissed concerns expressed by the First National Groceries regional manager, Mr. Arthur Anderson, that Burnham may have been kidnapped or injured. Yeah.
It won't open.
Now I just need to figure out where exactly the poorhouse is. That's where the drunkard is. And that's where the star is, for some of the town's quote-unquote nastier elements. Something's hanging out on the rooftops, and it's not me. Well, I'm here. Now, where was the goddamn poorhouse? I passed it earlier, I know that.
I'm not in town to shop.
Oh, I wish we were, though. Jack Walters, shopper.
Won't budge.
I'm here to find good business in Innsmouth. not a detective. It was around here, I believe. Yeah, she's over here waiting.
Jack, we can't be seen talking together. What is it?
Why do you stay in Innsmouth, Rebecca?
My grandfather, John Lawrence, was editor of the Innsmouth Courier. He was murdered in the slaughter of 46. He had always despised the Marshes and their blasphemous doings, and it was he who led the party out to the reef that night. They arrested Captain Marsh and his order and tossed them in the old jailhouse. A few weeks later, my grandfather was dead. My father saw him die. Him and many others burned alive in the Courier's basement.
All the more grounds to leave.
To leave would be to fail my own legacy. I have a duty to protect the good in Innsmouth, at least what little good remains.
Well, this is all fairly unfortunate. Or that was what going on here. This was the body that we saw dragged on earlier.
The haberdashery is closed.
I'm trying to remember where the poorhouse is. Can someone point me to the poorhouse? No, sir.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked...
I never heard of no Burnham.
Okay. Very direct to the point. I don't know where I'm looking for is. This is the cult of the order, obviously. No,
It's the only building that won't open.
I think I ordered that wrong. Because I like how I think it's because I examined two different things. It just seems so flawless. It seems so flawlessly into each other. Just like he literally just said, "It's the only building that won't open." I think it's supposed to say it's the only building that looks tidy or something. But fucking hey, because all these doors are always around here. I'm easily amused by small things. So. Going from here to there. Can't say anything about these parts. I'm trying to figure out where the poorhouse is. Over here? Where are you? You're that one guy.
Hello, Mackie.
Jack, swell to see you again. Any leads on the Burnham case?
Nope. Did you know the lad at all?
Just pleasantries. Seemed a nice enough fella, if a little rough around the edges. Strange business, though. I'd never have figured him as a crook. The First National was a well-run store, a rare thing here in Innsmouth.
Okay, Mackie. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack. Be careful what you're doing. Very careful. Innsmouth's a dangerous place. Not everyone who visits here ends up leaving by the old bus route.
This Mackie character knows plenty, but I don't think grilling him for scraps of information is going to crack this case. What do you know about the break-in at the variety store?
Only what was in the press. You should speak to Thomas Waite. He owns the joint.
Where's his place?
I think the Waite's house is over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
Thanks.
Though I warn you, Innsmouth's driven old Waite's a bit crazy. He doesn't talk a lot of sense.
That's my sort of fella. He sounds just perfect. What's this Jacob Marsh like?
He didn't show up for our appointment. But then again, the Marshes never do.
Seems like we're both having some lousy luck.
I've only met Jacob the once. He's not the prettiest picture, and a real slimy character.
Mackie,
Hello, Jack.
what's the government's interest in the Marsh refinery, anyway?
It's just domestic affairs. You ask a lot of questions, Jack.
I'm a detective. What the hell do you expect?
What you're after comes under official secrets, if you know what I mean. But I can tell you that our government has become increasingly suspicious of Innsmouth and the Marsh family.
I've heard of the Marshes. Rumors of that family are rife, even on the streets of Arkham. None of what's said is pleasant.
That I can believe. The Marshes have been ruling this port for nearly a century. Ever since that plague swept these streets in the 40s.
A plague? Is that why the place is so deserted?
Masses died, so that would figure. There's gossip that old Captain Obed Marsh brought the disease onto this port from foreign trade. Deliberately.
Oh my god. Is that why so many of the townsfolk are suffering from that hideous affliction?
Perhaps. Those from out of town call it the Innsmouth look.
Where did you say Waite's house was again?
I think it's over on Dock Street, near the back of the poorhouse.
I'm looking for the poorhouse and this guy, so good timing.
Rebecca, maybe you know. What happened at the variety store?
Ah, Tom Waite's place. The gossip on the streets is that the store safe holds a great treasure. Since the Order got wind of the rumors, they've been desperate to get their filthy hands on it. But it seems they can't get close.
Odd. Do you suppose Burnham knew about it? Maybe he pocketed it before breezing out of town.
I don't know, Jack. He'd only been in town a few months, and we can't be certain he even managed to leave. Ruth Billingham must be involved in all this somehow. She was desperate for a way out of Innsmouth.
What do you know about her?
Only that she and Brian were close, much to the Order's disapproval. You should speak to Tom Waits. Find out for certain if the treasure's gone.
Where can I find him?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, just by the back of the old town poorhouse.
Where did you say I could find Waits again?
He lives on 803 Dock Street, by the back of the poorhouse.
Okay, to Dock Street apparently for everything. Right south.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked...
Cam Riley says I know him.
Jeez, that close up on his face. So it's good old Dock Street we're looking for. Washington Street. Town Square. South Street. Oh, everyone's just gathering up here.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Get right
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Just leave me be, stranger.
I'm looking for Brian
I
Burnham.
can't be seen talking to you.
Okay then. No one likes him apparently. Okay, South Dock Street?
Seems like the Burnham lad had some doll along for company on this little caper.
All sorts of nonsense and hearsay be gossip about such affairs.
But there was another robbery at Waite's variety store. That much is true?
That's for certain.
How did they break in?
Just down them there steps. Old Tom Waits had locked up for the night.
Right. Thanks. Do you know where I could find Mr. Waits in the evening?
It's getting late. Folks who know what's good for them are generally bolted in their homes by now.
Where's Waite's house?
Look, stranger, get lost and stop your bothering me with questions.
He isn't gonna tell me anything useful.
Okay.
It's locked. It must lead to the back of the variety store.
He won't work.
The key doesn't fit. I'm looking for Brian
I
Burnham.
can't be seen talking to you.
It won't budge. It won't budge.
Huh. Is this the poorhouse? So this is the poorhouse.
It's unlocked.
Okay. Well, finally found the entrance to the poorhouse. I'll talk to this guy again, see if he has anything to say to me, though.
I'm looking for a young lad called Brian Burnham. He worked in the First National. I'm a friend of the family.
I ain't heard of Burnham lad.
Guess not.
Right.
The poorhouse. Oh, a visit to the old town. Monitor your heartbeat and breathing carefully to keep track. That's all I was able to read. I also had no save my game. Well, to the old poorhouse.
If I see you without fire, I'll report your order.
I'll not say nothing.
I'm just right there.
Nothing of interest.
I'll talk to this guy before he gets away.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't say I noticed what you're saying, stranger.
Still back area. Wait.
Do you need any help? Disease is rampant in this town. Do you need any help? It won't open. It won't budge. It won't open.
I'm just exploring the routes.
The sign says, Innsmouth Poorhouse, in memory of Lady Warrens. This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
It's getting late, outsider. Folks who know what's good for them are safely bolted in their homes by now.
It's the entrance to the town poorhouse.
I'll get back to that.
It won't budge.
And down here.
It won't open.
Okay.
Where is everybody? It's very quiet.
Just leave me be, stranger.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
I can't be seen talking to you.
Where is everybody? It's very quiet.
Just leave me be, stranger.
Okay.
Stranger, stranger, stranger.
This town's deserted. Where is everybody?
If you don't like it, just turn around and leave.
Is that? Nope. I guess it's part of the newspaper clan. Well, up to the poorhouse. Surprise, poor people live here.
It won't open.
That's unfortunate. Hey.
Since old Lady Warren's passed away, the food is rotten, but we'll die soon enough.
I was just imagining you're just like in a poor people's home and just an old man just standing by the window is like, well, the food's going rotten, but it's okay. It's all fine. Don't worry yourself, lad. We'll all die soon enough anyway.
What are you looking at there, old-timer?
Nothing. I'm just looking. What you doing in old Warren's house, young feller? This hole is for the broke and the dying.
I'm trying to find Dock Street.
It's out back of the house. Everything in Innsmouth is rotten and dying. Windows boarded up, and all sorts of curious barking and crawling around black cellars and attics. How'd you like to be living in a town like this, feller?
I've been to more welcoming places. I don't think he's been outdoors for years. He isn't gonna know anything. That Zadok Allen tells some wild tales.
Aye, Zadok's a troublemaker, I tell you. If he weren't such a drunken old fool, he ought to have sorted him out before now.
Innsmouth must have an intriguing past.
Innsmouth's a historic town, stranger. Plenty of history here.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the two stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
Do you know anything about the robberies of the two stores in town?
No, can't help you there, fella. I can only tell you what I seen from this here window, and that ain't much of nothing.
I feel a bit bad for this old man. It's like the worst, interesting bug. Just crawling up there on the walls. Huh. To be fair though, the poorhouse looks about the same as the street. Ooh.
This almshouse is home to the old and the destitute. These beds reek of sweat and urine. This almshouse is home to the old and the destitute.
Nice shadows on the moth there.